For honor. For honor. For honor.
Okay, so you love team-based multiplayer games, but you're tired of the same old FPS, point, shoot, click, kill, blah blah blah. I mean, Call of Duty, they've done it every year, it's beaten down. Battlefield 1 was a nice change, it took us back, but overall it's the same. You just shoot your way through any objective to attain your goal. Overwatch, it was a nice change of pace with variant heroes that do different things, but overall it's more of a first-person shooter, and you're kind of tired of that by now. But don't worry, because you have been saved. I bring to you For Honor, and every little thing we know about it to date. Now, what is For Honor, you're asking? Well, let me give you the basics before we jump into more in-depth reviews about everything else later. So, For Honor is a third-person hack-and-slash game that brings some of history's most fearsome warriors together on the battlefield, and they are the Knights, Viking, and Samurai. Now you as the player have the option to choose which faction you want to fight for, and although you do pledge your allegiance to one faction, that does not limit you to the heroes you get to use. So for example, if you choose to fight for the Samurai, in the game you can still be a knight, a Viking, or whatever you want. It's more for aesthetics than anything else. So with that in mind, don't make too big of a deal about which side you want to choose, because at the end of the day you'll be able to play as any hero you want that they offer. Now, the game is available on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It release date is scheduled for February 14th, so Valentine's Day. Gonna be another bloody Valentine, if you know what I mean. Now for the price of the game, there's actually four different prices, and there's four different things you can choose from. You can choose the standard edition, which is just $59.99. Choose the deluxe edition, which is $69.99. I believe that comes with a free skin pack. Choose the golden edition, that comes with a skin pack for each faction, and I believe special weapons you get to use, like a special looking katana, sword, or whatever, and each special weapon for each faction. And then there's a collector's edition priced at $219.99, and that comes with a bust of each helmet, each helmet of each faction, the season pass. Actually, yeah, season pass, the free skin pack, the free legacy weapon pack. I think it's what it's called, and and a little bit more information about the lore of the game, just overall. And there also is a beta, so if you're watching this, I don't know, I guess after I post a video, make sure you go ahead and sign up for the beta as soon as possible, because it's not been announced when the beta will be out, but it's been announced for January, so sometime this month. There's no specific date, but sometime this month the beta is going to be out. So make sure you go over to Ubisoft/For Honor or something like that, Ubisoft, and sign up for the beta, because you don't want to miss it, trust me. Alright, so there's four different classes of heroes you can choose from each faction. And now this is my personal gameplay, so unfortunately I can't showcase all of the heroes that are available. But don't worry, because when the beta comes around, we'll take care of all the information I wasn't able to obtain myself in videos to come. So don't worry about that. But anyway, so there's four different classes you can choose from, and they are Vanguard, which are all around balanced. There's Heavy, which as the name suggests, heavy hitters, so they're super strong. Assassin, which are attack oriented, and they're a little bit quicker. And then the fourth is Hybrid, which are more of a technical type of battle style. Now, not only do each hero get a unique weapon they have mastered, they also get each hero gets a unique set of feats for them. And feats are pretty much just little power-ups that are available to you in the game that do a variety of different things. There's a bunch of different ones. You can make a bunch of different combinations. So there should always at least be somewhat of a level playing field, because there's just a lot of combinations you can use to give you an edge over the opponent you're facing. Now, let's get into the customization. So I did get some stuff wrong. So you can only customize your chest, arms, and helmet, but you can customize your weapon as well: blade, hilt, and guard. That's the part I got mixed up. I got the hilt and guard thing mixed up. But yeah, so each piece of armor and weapon part you choose is status affecting. So keep that in mind when you're customizing your person. So you can make yourself try to look really cool with all the armor and options you can choose, but the status effects might not be great. So you might look really cool, but you might be, super slow defensively because of a status thing and end up, getting wrecked all the time in your online competitive career. And that's never fun. Of course, we all want to look cool while we dominate the opponent, but that's one thing I was never a fan of in games. Really, is there's the customize option, but you kind of sort of get penalized if you're not careful what you choose. So you can't always have your character look exactly the way you want, and sometimes the character has to look kind of stupid in order to get the best status affecting equipment all grouped up together. But it's what you make it, so I can live with it. It's just if I had the option, I choose not to make that a thing. But hey, what can you do? Now, as for the multiplayer game modes, we have 4v4 Dominion, 2-on-2 Brawl, and 1v1 Duel. Now, for the 4v4 Dominion, the pretty much overall objective of the game is to capture all control points on the map and battle it out to come on top. But it really is anybody's game from start to finish, because it's not like the other control point modes you've played in previous games before, whereas when your team reaches the target number of points or goals or whatever, you win the game. For this, you still get points by capturing control points as well as killing grunts, but that's not what decides the game. So once your team reaches 1,000 points, you then send the other team into a desperate stage called Last Stand, where their team no longer is able to respawn back into the game. So during the Last Stand, whoever's left, that's it. If you manage to kill the other four players, you win the game. But if that team is able to capture a control point and hold it, then they uh, rally back and their spawns are then reactivated, and then they pretty much come back up and they try to do the same thing to you and try to wear you down even more. So really the game can go back and forth, and I feel like the competitive opportunities of this game are going to be crazy, and I feel like games are going to be able to last for way long, given both sides are pretty good at the game. And so um, for the grunts, they're going to be on every multiplayer map. They're going to be grunts that's flooded the field, playing this, pretty much getting in your way. They can't really kill you. They can do damage to you, but it's going to be very hard for them to actually kill you, and chop down a large amounts of your health. So they're not going to be a nuisance, but play a big part, because for the central control point of the map, and from my personal experience playing the game, usually it's B, that's the central control point. All the NPCs or grunts, they all merge, or they all go towards the center and try to take it over. And what you do is you clear out all the enemies' grunts if they're there, and once you kill a lot of them, you keep pushing them back, and then you and your own grunts on your team push forward and capture the front line, and then that's how you would take over the central control point. But and that's where the most action occurs, and that's probably one of my favorite parts, to just keep trying to take the central point, because that point is the one that bounces back the most back and forth, because there's always those grunts there trying to push forward and capture it. And if you're not paying attention, those little pesky dudes can get in there and manage to take over the front without even the help of a real player under your nose. But that usually never happens, because you're always at least running back on the midpoint. But see, see right here, a little example for you. All you have to do is wipe out all the team grunts, and you can see they're one-hit kills because they're not really much. They are hitting me a little bit, but they're not doing that much damage to me. So like I said, they're not going to be a big problem. They're not going to be like, oh, what, I have to fight grunts and a human? It's not going to be that big. But once you manage to kill enough of them, they start to retreat and fall back to their line, and then you and your grunts move up, and then once enough of your grunts are up there and you manage to hold it for a while, or hold it for a little bit, and then you then capture that point, and then that just goes back and forth. As excuse me. And as for the 2v2 brawl, it's just you and another person against two other people, and it's a 5 round elimination. So best, I believe it's best 3 of 5, and you win that. And then same for the duel, it's just one-on-one duel, and best of 5 of that, and then you win the game. Now for the battle mechanics, I don't believe I've ever encountered a game that uses battle mechanics like this. They're like simple, but then again, there's so many things you can do with them. So you have 3 stance points, which are up, left, and right, and you have a heavy hit and a light hit, and then you can make combos from that. So let's say you're fighting a person. So when you're fighting someone, you can match their stance to block. So if they're raised up, and you have your thing pointed up, then you'll be able to block their attack. But let's say they're they're if their if their stance is facing to the left and you're facing to the right and they swing, you won't block it and they'll hit you. So you have to match their stance if you want to block, and you block automatically. As long as you're matching stances, you'll be able to block. And actually, I got a little example for you right here. So she's matching my stance. I'm on a different stance and I'm able to hit them. So if they were able to match my stance, they block. And you also have a guard break. So guard break is you rush in, you push them back, and then they're off balance, and you can quickly go in, slash them a few times, and they won't be able to block because they'll be off balance. Now I'm gonna quickly showcase for you guys here the what I was talking about when I was talking about the last stand and how you ultimately win the game. So my team were about to get to that 1,000 points, and see, look, we reached it, and now the enemies are in the last stand. And as you can see on the right side, we just killed one, so there's only 3 enemies remaining. And if we manage to kill them all, then we win the game. But as you can see, it looks like they're capturing points pretty quickly, and I do believe they also get to 1,000 points, so we both can be in the last stand at the same time. So, it's not one side, it's not who gets there first, it's you both can get there, it's just how quickly you get there, then how quickly you're able to finish off the enemy before they're able to bounce back again. And, let's see if I can... Alright, and you see here we are about to go in the last stand right now. See, it's like, our team is breaking, our morale's down, so we gotta make a last stand. And so we're both in the last stand, so now we're trying to see, who's going to kill each other first and who's going to capture these points so we can start reviving each other, or start respawning, rather. And I do believe if you go down, your team can revive you, but if you go down and you get executed, then you're not allowed to be revived at all. So there's no respawning regardless, but as long as you're not executed when you die, I believe your team is able to go ahead and revive you. And right here again, just to showcase it for you, I'm about to be revived right here. As you can see, our team's running up. They got that revive, and we got that revive. So now, since there's no team respawn, now it's 4-on-1, and then they lose immediately. And last but not least, we'll go over the story and what we know so far. Now, not much has been shown, but what we can gather from the trailer and the bits and pieces we do here is there's an earth-shattering cataclysmic event, and each faction is ripped out of their time period and their space and time. They're all displaced, and they all just get thrown together in the same world. And then amongst the confusion, each side takes up arms against each other, and they go into a battle for a millennium. At least that's what the narrator says, and we found out that the narrator's name is Apollyon. I believe I'm saying that right, Apollyon, and they're the villain of the game, of the campaign. And she runs around with non-playable renegade knights that are bloodthirsty manipulators, and their main focus is to ensure that there can be no peace between the factions. Now, we don't know why, we don't know how, we don't know anything past that point of why they're here, why they don't want them to have peace, why they all came together in the first place. And so in the campaign, you can play through the campaign with fully voiced heroes for each faction, and I think that's pretty cool that they have fully voiced characters for each hero for each faction. I'm not sure if it's for each hero. Like, I'm not sure what the campaign will offer if you can play play as each hero, but for what we know, in the campaign, whoever you play as for each faction, they're fully voiced with full animation and cutscenes and all that, and that's pretty cool. And I do believe you play as each faction in the campaign, and then as they go along the campaign, they cross paths with the Blackstone Legion, which is the name of the group of rebellious people Apollyon leads. And that about wraps it up. That's about all we know about For Honor for now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, and for videos in the future, subscribe and bring that ass coming back for more. See ya.